Hello class. In this video, I'm going to explain this problem that is about comparing two mortgage plans. It says determine the regular payment amount rounded to the nearest dollar. Consider the following pair of mortgage loan options to for mortgage. Which mortgage loan has larger total cost? The larger total cost includes closing costs and the amount of paid for points and the total cost of interest. By how much? So we have two plans. Plan A, 20-year fixed at 7.25%, with the closing costs of 2,400 and 1 point. Plan B, 20-year fixed at 5.25%. Closing cost 2,400 and 5 points upfront. So we need to find the total cost for each plan and then compare. So let's do plan A first. Let's sort the information for plan A. Loan A. Firstly, little n is 12. Loan A, 20 years, so T is 20. And the interest rate is 7.25. So those information can help us to find the monthly payment, right? So we're going to use the TI-84 calculator to find the monthly payment. Hold on. We need to know the loan amount as well. Let's see how much you need to borrow from the lender. Which mortgage has? Let's see if it's given. Oh, I didn't cut all the information. So it says take on a loan for $130,000. $130,000. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm missing that information. $130,000. You need to borrow this much money. Your principal is $130,000. Okay, with those information, we should be able to find the monthly payment for loan A. Let me stop share this one and go to calculator. It's a 20-year plan, so capital N 12 times 20. Annual interest rate is 7.25. PV is 0. Payment is what we're trying to figure out. Future value. Oh, my bad. Sorry. PV is not 0. PV is 130 grand. It's a loan problem. 130 grand. And future value is 0. Okay. For loan, future value is 0. P per Y, C per Y is 12. END is highlighted. So we can go to solve for payment. Alpha enter. Let's see how do we round the result. Do not round until the final answer, then round to the nearest dollar as needed. Larger total cost. So then we do not round it. We're gonna write $1,027 for AA7A. We can do that. I'm gonna write it down. For AA7A. Hold on. I was writing the result on my note for AA7A. Okay, that's correct. So now let's go back to note. And then sort the information for Plan B. Sort the information for loan B. N is still 12, T is still 20. R is different. For Plan B, annual interest rate is 5.25%. With closing cost of, okay, that's not related. So we can find the payment for Plan B by using those information. All we need to adjust is the value of R. Everything else the same. 20 years, same loan amount. We only need to change the annual interest rate to 5.25%. Let's go to the calculator. 5.25. So go up, change that to 5 to 1.25. So the annual interest rate is different. 5.25. And then we solve for monthly payment. Alpha enter. This time, we have the reason we have a lower payment because the interest rate is lower. $875.99, 74162. We're gonna keep all the digits. And then now let's go back the notes again. I'm going to calculate the total costs for each plan. All right, I'm gonna use a simple, I can actually do the simple calculator. So let me write total cost of A, okay? So monthly payment is 1027.48A7A. Multiply that by 12, that's the payment for a year. By 20, that's the payment over the lifetime of the loan. So those are the principal and the interest. So that's the money you end up with paying over the 20 years. But upfront, you pay $2,400 closing cost and 1 point, which is 1% of the mortgage 130,000. So that is the total cost. All right, let me simplify very quick. I'm going to use the scientific calculator. I don't know if you can see it since it's two different apps. I'll give the final answer in a moment. So 1027.4 AA7A times 12 times 20 and that gives me 246. $597.3072. Be very careful about the calculation. Actually, I'm going to double check. $1,027 for AA7A times 240. Yeah, that's correct. $246,597, around 31 cents. So that is the payment over the 20 years. And the closing cost is $2,400, and 1% of the mortgage is $1,300. All right. So that is the total cost of Plan A. Now let's do the total cost of Plan B. For Plan B, you pay $875.9974162. Multiply that by 12 by 20. That's the payment you pay the lender over the 20 years. And plus the closing cost is also 2,400. That is given, 2,400. But the points, you pay 5 points. 5 points is 5% of the mortgage, which is 130 grand. Let's use a calculator. $875, 9974, 162 times 240. So that gives $210,239. Point 379. 888. So this is the payment. This is the principal and the interest you end up paying the lender. And also closing cost 2,400 and 5%. 5% of 130 grand is 0.05 times 130,000. 6,500. Okay, so let's actually add those numbers together. So what do you think? So this part is the same, right? So we really don't care about that part. The points, plan B has more, but the payment, the total payment, plan A has a lot, right? Plan A has a lot. So the difference, plan A definitely has more higher cost, by the way. You can just compare very quickly. Plan A gonna have a higher cost, and plan B has a lower cost. And how much higher compared with plan B? How much higher the cost? So we're going to use this number plus 1,300 and then minus the addition of those two numbers, all right? So can do that on a scientific calculator. 246,597.3072 plus 1,300. Use that to minus 6,500 and then minus 210,239 dollars 379,888. The difference, how do we round it? Nearest dollar, okay. The difference is 31 grand, $158. The difference is $31,158. Let's see, how do I enter the answer here? So A has a larger total cost for sure. By how much? By 31,000, that's a lot. Okay, it just shows it's correct, all right? I hope the explanation helps this question. It's a little bit troublesome.